Lead time is the time between when a customer makes an order and when a product is shipped. So order to ship. So the Toyota Production System is designed to simultaneously improve performance in those areas, quality, cost, and lead time as businesses. So how do we do that? There are two broad pillars of the Toyota Production System. One is called just-in-time, that is shown on the left. And basically that means we want to design our process to have a high level of continuous flow. And we want the flow to work at the takt time, which is the rate of customer demand. And ultimately we want to implement a pull system, which is what we build based on actual firm orders and pull. The other main pillar, oh, by the way, when you're running with a very high level of just-in-time, what happens is problems become very visible. They stand out. When the flow is disrupted, it stands out. That is intentional and deliberate so that we can then attack and solve those problems. The other key pillar of the Toyota Production System shown there on the right is Jidoka. That's a Japanese term for automation with a human touch. A more easier way to say it is we want to stop and notify of abnormalities. So let me give you an everyday example of that. You're driving your car, your 16-year-old son, like mine, gets in the passenger seat, and they don't put on their seatbelt. What happens? Alarm, right? Bing, bing, bing at the moment. I can detect that problem immediately as it occurs by a sound, in this case. That's a signal to detect an abnormality. That's the basic essence of Jidoka. We want to design every step in the process so when there's an abnormality, we get a clear signal so that we can A, contain the problem temporarily, and B, do some investigation for reoccurrence prevention so it doesn't occur. So these two pillars, just-in-time and Jidoka, work hand in hand to get those business results. In the bottom of that house, I show some foundational elements that need to be in place. For just-in-time and Jidoka to work at a very high level, we first of all need to have basic stability in the 4 M's. People, material, methods, and machinery. Then we have to have very good standardized work, Haijunka, which is about level scheduling, and of course Kaizen is the improvement base that underlies this all. So that's the technical piece of the system that we want to create on these model lines. Okay, so let me describe this model line approach. If there's a factory, we want to take a model line, in this case I'm showing in red, from receiving to shipping. Again, this is a narrow slice of the organization. And we're going to work closely to implement TPS in great depth in that one narrow area to achieve a very critical business result. And on that model line shown here, we want to implement that whole triangle working all together with the right technical tools from the house that apply to that particular situation. The managerial role I'll elaborate on here a little bit. We call it 3+1. And we heard actually much of this in the prior presentation from General Electric. Top management has to show very strong visible commitment. 2, understand TPS correctly, the principles and details. That means they must learn key elements well enough such that they can teach it. This is not a cheerleading function. Okay, this is a learning and development function. Thirdly, build a culture to make problems visible so that people will willingly expose and surface problems so that we can then attack. And lastly,